All right. I guess we should talk about it. Connor McDavid, the new contract, basically just extending his current salary for another 2 years. Um, I think this is the best contract in the NHL now. Might be the best contract in NHL history. Is this the greatest contract in sports history? Connor McDavid, 2 years, $12.5 million.
Yes, without a doubt. I've never seen the
No,
best player in the world take a discount in the 2 prime years of his career. Ever. In any sport. I don't think you know what? Brady used to do it. That's the only time I've ever seen it. Is probably Brady. But Brady had 7 rings to go with it. So, and millions of dollars in endorsements, and now he's getting like 125 mil from Fox. So I doubt
but
he
he's making
cares.
more. Yeah, he's fine.
But it's unprecedented. I mean, we all kind of I think you and I were in the boat of like it's going to be a shorter deal. I never thought it was going to be 8. I was leaning more towards he's going to walk, and if anything, this shows me he is definitely thinking about it because if he wasn't, it would be more than 2 years. This is a very strict timeline for the Oilers now. I think I texted you immediately. I was just like, TikTok, here we go. You have
3 years,
3 cracks. Get to work. I mean, I guess he got to work. He signed Walman to a 7x7 too. With the cap going up, I guess that deal's going to look like a 5x7 down the line, you would think. But at the same time, I'm always a little hesitant on giving long extensions to someone who's only played, give or take, 30 games with their team, including playoffs. So that concerns me a little bit. But also, Jake Wallman's kind of done what he's done ever since he left St. Louis. So that's a good sign. I think it's a good second. I mean, for all we know, that could be the top pairing left-handed defenseman in a year when Ekholm potentially retires or doesn't resign.
And same with Brett Kulak, also UFA. They had no left-handed defenseman signed in next year, obviously, except for Darnell Nurse. So yeah.
Dang. But I mean, the Oilers got the core locked up. Now it's a matter of, with that $39 in cap space, what do you go get? Also, Savoy and Tomashek didn't make the team. I find that, or I don't know if they did make the team or if it's just like a cap.
I think it's just a paper move. I was actually looking at that earlier because Isaac Howard is also not on the team, but I think they're going to put Zach Hyman on LTIR and then call them up afterwards.
Okay, that makes more sense. That's what I kind of figured that, but back in your mind, you're always just like, what are they building over there? They're going to send all the kids down. But I mean, the core's locked up. You got another goalie, which is good. I don't know if it's a good goalie, but we'll see.
Something different. We'll at least find out. Like, they're trying something different than Skinner or Pickard.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of like Stan Bowman getting Henrik Borgstrom to give us depth, but, to each their own. We'll see. I mean, it's hard to bet against McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard and Nuge and all these guys being back together now. And I think with the weight off his shoulders this year, I genuinely changed some of my predictions after that contract got signed because I think Connor McDavid's in to have the best year of his career now. He might complete like a quintuple crown, like gold medal, Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe, fucking Hart. He might win it all this year. No weight on your shoulders. One goal in mind. I don't even think he gives a shit about the other stuff. Probably gives a shit about winning a gold medal a little bit.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But Stanley Cup's number 1 right now. And how could it not be? You are the class of the Western Conference. I don't think that we talk about it enough or enough people talk about it. They swept the floor with the West last year. Beat Vegas in 5.
The only adversity they faced is when they went down 2-0 to LA, and that was really it. I very much could see them running the table again in the West, and you just better hope you don't run into Florida again. And I would say there's a pretty good chance they don't, just with all the injuries they've had and the amount of hockey they played, but you never know. Just give yourself the chance to get back there.
Yeah, and this is about as good of a chance as you're going to get. This might change the way contracts are done, but at the same time, there's got to be a lot of people around the league, not even just confused, but it puts you in a weird spot with a lot of contracts now. I feel like the best player in the world took almost $5 million less than Kaprizov. Yes, it's a 2-year deal to an 8-year deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
McDavid's making $3.5 million more than Luke Hughes. Like,
dude, he's making 3.5 more than Jackson Lacombe.
dude, he's the term is going to be the key to a lot of these contracts going forward, I think, because the bridge is different now. You know, Bridge a couple years ago was like, oh, he's going to take 7.5 times 3. I always think of Braden Point when he did it. And then Braden Point got his big deal. Some people might just know their worth now. Like, you look at the NBA, this has been going on since they had their first TV rights deal about a decade ago. LeBron was one of the catalysts of it. He just kept signing 1-year deals.
The decision.
Yep. And, you know, Tom Brady was doing that towards the end of his career, just signing 1-year extensions, you know, making the cap work for the team. And, you know, he's going to make his money in endorsements and all this shit. So it doesn't matter. I got to imagine the same thing. Like, I can't imagine McDavid's face is not plastered everywhere in Canada. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is, yeah.
Like, it is to an extent here, too, for a Canadian team, which is shocking. But
especially for Edmonton.
Exactly. Speaks to the player. But like, Jack Eichel's contract is the most intriguing contract in hockey now.
It's crazy. I would have guessed he would have been the first to sign an extension now.
Actually,
Kaprizov, and
I'm immediately taking that back. It's Kyle Connor.
For Eichel? Kyle Connor?
It's Kyle Connor. Because everyone says it. The reason Kaprizov signs it was 17 mil, right? Not 16, 17.
17, yeah.
Yes, okay.
He turned down 60 mil per year.
Exactly. It's because it's Minnesota. And nothing against Minnesota. It's a great hockey market. You know, Winnipeg's a great hockey market too. It's not traditionally known for people making that big commitment to stay there in their prime. I mean, they tried with Parise and Suter, and we know how well that went. And I wouldn't even consider that to be the best players in the league at the time. That's like the next echelon down at the time. And they were still great moves. You know, they clearly put the franchise in the right direction, but they hit a cap. But you have to overpay to keep these players. Like we saw with Columbus a little bit too. You know, Columbus offered Marner 13 mil. They offered Panarin all this money. It didn't fucking matter. They didn't want to go there. No one wants to go to Winnipeg unless you're, you know, the core that they've locked up. You know, it took a while to lock up Velarde, but they got him. They locked up Scheifele. They locked up Morrissey. Kyle Connor's the first one that has legit case to get a really big number with the way the cap's going. And if he's going to stick around in Winnipeg, I got to imagine they're going to overpay. And what does that overpay look like? What do you think? I think it's north of 13. If that's the case. Especially if he has the season that we're capable of him having, which is like 45 goals, 55 assists, just beast mode. That's what he does all the time if he's healthy.
I was going to say he's capable of scoring 50 goals. I think he could get 100 points last year, 97 points, 41 goals in 82 games played. 21-22, 47 goals in 79 games played. Who knows? Maybe if he plays a whole 82 game season, he might have hit 50 goals. So yeah, if I am Kyle Connor and his agent, I am definitely being like, oh, I want at least 13 million.
Yeah. And you know, the best player on the team's Hellebuck. Hellebuck makes what he makes, but he's a goalie. Goalies don't make what the player makes. And
no, it's different. Goalies are always very different.
I think it just comes down to if these players want to say what they want to say. Because clearly we know the player wants out, he's going to get out. Mitch Marner wanted out. He got out.
Yeah.
You know, John Tavares, even if he wasn't disagreement like they made out to be, he wanted out. He got out. If these players want to leave, they will leave. And I just wonder how much money he's going to have to talk in Winnipeg. Now, he might want to stay. But I have more confidence in Eichel signing an extension right now than Connor, just by the way the market's moving.
And just kind of like preview the episode that I didn't really get much into. We're gonna do our Western Conference predictions, and there's kind of some like prompts I texted you earlier, like, "Oh, what are some hot takes or whatever?" And one thing I didn't add in was who's gonna stay, who's gonna go. And in the NHL, it's always, oh, the player's gonna say, "Always bet on nothing." But it was interesting having that discussion with Kyle Connor because I wonder another guy like Adrian Kempe, kind of the same age. I think he's a year older than Kyle Connor. I think he went in the 2014 draft. I think Kyle Connor is 2015. Wonder what his market's looking like. I don't know if it's quite as much as Kyle Connor because Kyle Connor has flirted with 100 points and 50 goals before, but Adrian Kempe has flirted with like he's a 40 goal scorer, so he's easily going to make $10+ million, especially if he hits the market.
100%. And the more these big contracts signed, then you're the next one up. You know what I mean? And if we are to believe that the Eichel extension, like they're going to do it. It's just a matter of not when, but or if, but when. He's the next biggest name on the board. You have to imagine. I mean, like you said, Kempe's another one. I think Tuck's an interesting one, especially with depending on how Buffalo's season goes. There's going to be some interesting. Necas is a huge one. Like
Yeah,
Marty Necas could really run the market in a big
and
way
he's
if he wants
younger
that.
than those guys. Like he's 26, I think. Like he'll be 27 once he hits the market. Just like a year or two younger than Connor and Kempe and all of them. Tuck.
Yeah, and if you're Marty Necas, you're not getting 13 mil in Colorado. They got to pay McCarr in a couple of years. You can get 13 mil in the open market. Someone is going to pay that. It doesn't matter if you want to go there, I guess. But I don't know. The market's going to be very interesting to watch with these extensions. I think Bedard's extension has got a lot more interesting. We joked 98 times 8, but that might be the starting point now. If this is what, 8-year contracts look like for really elite players.
Artemi Panarin's also another one. He's a bit older than the guys we've been talking about, but I wonder if he stays in New York. I don't know if he does. Like, I don't think it's a guaranteed thing he does. I wonder if he wants to go to the market and like get a short-term contract, but get just a lot of money. Like, again, if I'm the Blackhawks looking at this, if you can't get one of those wingers like we mentioned, like a Kyle Connor and Adrian Kempe, who I know you would love on the Blackhawks, and obviously so would I, and so should every other Blackhawks fan. But if you can't get one of those younger guys, just at some point you're going to have to get a high-end winger, and giving Panarin 2 or 3 years, maybe with some performance bonuses, because I think he's 35 and you can do that. I would give him like I don't know how much, like 15. Let's say 15 million over 2 years. Do that, I would. They can do that, and you're gonna have to see
Exactly.
something like that soon.
Exactly. We're going to see some interesting overpays, I think, in the next couple of years. The Hawks got a lot of crap for giving a lot of people $4 million. I think we're going to see some like 8. We're going to see some more Orlov type deals. You know what I mean? Those 8 times 2s. I think that's going to become more common.
I kind of want to go back to the Connor McDavid discussion. I was doing some math. So I remember every time we talked about the Oilers, we talked about what a glorious opportunity that they just fumbled with different regimes. In 2018-19, the first year that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were on their big boy contracts, I think Draisaitl's contract hit in a year earlier, 17-18, and then McDavid's ELC ended in early. His contract would have started 18-19. So that's $21 million. The cap in 18-19 was 79.5. So 21 million of 79.5 is just a little over 26% of the cap. Going to now where you have 3 years of them at $26.5 million. The cap is, I think it's 95.5 this year. I just want to double check I got it right. Yeah. So the percentage of the cap this year, it is 27%. But next year it's supposed to be $104 million. You do the math for that, that's just a little over 25%. But I saw Elliot Freeman say on 32 Thoughts that the cap could go up to $107 million. So if we do that for $107 million, it's less, it's 24%. It's less than a quarter of your cap. So you have been gifted such a great opportunity to make amends. All you have to do is win one cup, and everyone's going to forget about what happened. That's all you need to do. You've been given a lifeline, whatever you want to use to build this team. Now you got to empty the tank and get all the support you can for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to win a cup within these next 3 years. And if you don't get it done, then McDavid's going to walk to free agency and cash in on one less contract. And maybe this works out. Maybe they win a cup and McDavid just signs like, okay, we got it done. Now I can stay here for the rest of my career. But yeah, McDavid did not have to do that. He could have done whatever he wanted to. He could have walked to free agency, and like, yeah, it's Connor McDavid. I don't think you can overpay him, but this guy is so clearly wants to win a Stanley Cup. He has done everything but win one. He's got hearts, Art Ross. He's got a Rocket Richard. Going to be in the Hall of Fame, no doubt. He hasn't even hit 30 yet, and has a Conn Smythe, even scored the game-winning goal at the Four Nations tournament. He's done everything but win a cup. That's the only thing that's going to be on his mind right now, besides maybe winning Olympic gold medal.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the best Connor McDavid we've ever seen. Fingers crossed with health. Because, the last couple of years he's missed a little bit of time, and I think
he's banged up a little bit.
That affects him not getting the 160 points. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which we know he's very capable of.
So his benchmark season was the 22-23 season, 64 goals, 89 assists for 153 points. Last year's a couple of years is kind of slacked. Only 130 points in 76 games. And last year, only 100 points in 67 games. And by the way, 23-24, 100 assists. What are the odds we get like a 50 goal, 100 assist season out of Connor McDavid? I think we can see it.
I think it's pretty high, especially if they're going to play him with Draisaitl all year. Have fun. Good luck stopping that. And then he's going to get Hyman back. Oh no, he's going to get the guy he got 56 goals to. Get excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna pop off this year. The Oilers are going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and I just think with all the young players they have now, it's going to be different. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be better for them. I think it could give them a higher ceiling. I also think there could be a lower floor at this team. So at least they did like something a little different. Again, I wonder about the goaltending. Could Connor Ingram come in and be the savior? I don't know. And I almost think that's unfair to put those expectations on him with the stuff he's dealt with. And I don't think he's played much NHL as of recently, but who knows? And there's going to be goalies available, not necessarily great ones, but just looking at the waiver wire today, seeing like Toronto claim Caden Primo. Like, again, I don't know if that's the answer. It could be. You're just going to have to cycle and shuffle through a bunch of goalies like teams like Vegas have done. So, yeah.